This is Neil Schneider for MTBS-TV at CES 2013. I'm joined by Bill Donnelly, Global PR Director for Sapphire. Welcome to the program, Bill.
Hi.
Now, the last time I bumped into Sapphire was at AMD's Extravaganza in Toronto, and Phil showed us a mini PC, but it was still a prototype stage. I understand that you're in launch mode now. Am I correct?
That's absolutely right, yes. We've just introduced two models of a new mini PC in our Edge range. We're calling it the VS family because it's giving us much higher levels of performance because it's based on AMD's Trinity APUs. So we have two models, one based on the A8 and one on the A4.
Okay, so when we're talking about the A8 and the A4 CPUs, does that mean that there's graphics included in that? Can you elaborate why these processors are so special?
Yes, this is the APU technology from AMD, which combines a multi-core CPU together with a multi-channel GPU in the same processor. So it basically means that we're offering a sort of desktop level of performance in a very integrated space.
Excellent, excellent. Well, why don't we take a quick look at the units? Now, this is this looks a little different than what I saw. Maybe you could elaborate as to what we're looking at here.
Okay, so right now we have a finished unit which we have in the retail space, which is equipped with a 500 gig hard drive and 4 gig of RAM. But we've been asked, well, why didn't you put an SSD in there? Because a lot of people want to have a smaller, faster processor rather than just go with a regular hard drive. So what we're just introducing now is what we call a bare-bone edition of this PC. So we're giving people the opportunity to install either an SSD or a hard drive and their own configuration of memory, basically making this device more flexible for different applications. So if you just want to use it as a thin client, you might put a small SSD in there that's pretty fast. If you want to use it more for storage or for home streaming videos or something like that, you could put a big hard drive in there. So, you know, different kind of applications, and this makes the device more flexible.
When I first saw it, I was honestly intrigued because it's not a notebook computer. But it's really small. It's like the size of an old-style modem, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, we have a little bit of trouble promoting this thing because, you know, we might show it at a show and somebody says, hey, what is that? Is it a router or what is it? You know? But no, this is really, it's a complete PC. We can run a little bit through the specifications. We've got 2 USB 3 ports. We've got 4 USB 2 ports. The video output is both HDMI and DisplayPort, and we can support up to 2 monitors at the same time, and we've got wireless and wired LAN. So basically what we're looking at is a complete desktop PC replacement, but in this very small space.
Now, what would be the advantages? I mean, people could buy notebook computers and netbooks and ultrabooks. What purpose would this serve? Does this have a specific niche that it meets?
I think the problem that we have is it does offer complete flexibility like a PC. It will do anything you use a PC for, but the benefit is very low power. We're consuming about 30 watts of power with this device, and if you compare that with a regular big gold box, which might be 3 or 400 watts of power, so you know 10 times the power consumption. And in these days where you know it's very important to be efficient with energy, we think this is quite a landmark position to be in.
You know, something that strikes me, you know, we talked about the size. I'm wondering if there's a fit for this in the living room, because you mentioned that you've got HDMI 1.4 as well as DisplayPort connectors. These are 3D-ready connectors, am I correct?
Absolutely right, yes. I mean, because it's got the AMD's 7000 series graphics integrated in the device, it supports full HDMI output, so you can literally hook it directly to your TV and you're up and running.
I know, like in the PC market, they're saying, hey, you know what, we got this processing power. Is it something that could be used in the living room? But it's not really convenient to have a giant PC in the living room where you've got all your other equipment, but something like this might be a good fit. Have you found certain applications work well with this type of hardware?
Well, yes, indeed. I mean, particularly things like HD streaming. Again, because of the graphics architecture from AMD, it's very efficient at that kind of task.
And what about gaming? Can you play modern video games on a unit like this?
This is fully DirectX 11 compatible. The limitation, I think, would be how much memory you have in the system. If you're just playing on a TV or a single monitor, yes, it's suitable for doing most modern games at medium settings. We wouldn't say it's a hardcore gaming device, but again, a lot of gamers are keen to do not just the gaming on their PC, but maybe stream watching other people playing games or events that are going on. So I mentioned the capability for streaming directly from the device, but it's also very good at streaming off the internet.
Well, I mean, if you figure that the competitors for gaming in the living room is the modern console, like Xbox and PlayStation, that are gaming in often 720p, I mean, this strikes me as something that could easily compete with that.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is a device which is true HD, so I wouldn't want to compare it really with a console environment.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Now, of course, Sapphire is well known for their graphics hardware. Can you describe some of the products that you currently have on the market?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we are best known for graphics, and particularly for having innovative cooling solutions. So one of the things that we're best known for is what we call our VaporX technology. And we have a family of graphics cards which deliver very good performance, but are quite low noise in operation, which everybody likes. I think our king of the hill product is the one we call our Toxic, which is basically a 7970 with our VaporX cooling and extremely overclocked. So we have a 6 gig of RAM in there, and clocks running as high as 1200, so we're pretty good.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Before we sign off, is this readily available, and how much can people expect to pay for it?
Okay, so it launched just before Christmas. The bare-bone version is newly announced here at the show, so this should be coming into the channel as we speak, basically readily available over the coming weeks.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This is Neil Schneider at Sapphire Suite at CES 2013. Thank you for joining us.